So here are the main cryptos that we're going to be talking about today. Of course, Ethereum, kernel, a little bit, not so much. XDC we can ignore. Spark, ZBCN, Dia, a little bit. SUI, very much so, and ADA, very much so. And of course, Solana, XRP. We'll ignore XCN, and we'll talk about BTC. So in general, we've had a pullback from 123. Let's look at BTC, and we'll highlight what the. So here are my indicators, if you can see them. And we're set at 1 hour, which isn't particularly useful. Let's go to 1 day. That gives you a little bit of a better time frame. And you can see we've had a retracement. We peaked and then we dropped down. And these indicators are telling me, for the most part, that we've got an upward trend developing because we dropped so precipitously that we're going to get a spring back. It's already beginning to happen. You can see on the bottom indicator, it's beginning to happen. So what's this all about? Well, there are a couple of things going on. There was a essentially a liquidity pullback or risk-off pullback once the PPI number came in hot. The producer price index came in very hot, which suggested that perhaps in September the odds of a rate cut, even a 50 basis point, were reduced fairly significantly. I still think there may be a rate cut, but the bigger picture is, and nobody seems to be focusing on it, is that we still have M2 increasing fairly significantly. And I think the Federal Reserve is doing that along with the Treasury Department, because we're still running massive deficits and we're issuing tons of bonds, is doing that because they are seeing contraction in several areas. Now, I'm not one of these who thinks that the Federal Reserve is our friend and is trying to make the economy behave in the optimal way for all of us. Quite the opposite. Federal Reserve is designed primarily to consolidate power into the few and aggregate wealth to the top. It has done that incredibly successfully, unfortunately. So that's what's moving BTC. Now, the other aspect is whether or not the dollar is diving, because the BTC acts, as do most of the cryptos, act as a certain extent to a counterbalance to the dollar. Now, the dollar is more or less on an inevitable decline with fits and starts, pops and drops. It was supposed to have gone up by some analysts quite a bit more than it did. It dropped down to 97, which was a fairly big drop. I mean, it's been up at 110, 116, somewhere in the not very distant future, but now it's down to 97, and it started to make its way up. It got up to, I believe, 100, and now it's back down in the 98 range. So it's really having a hard time counteracting the natural drag on the value of the dollar by the overproduction of the currency. So long and short of it is, Bitcoin and the other crypto, the rest of the crypto space, has significant upside so long as M2 continues increasing and we see the dollar either holding its own or dropping. So that's what's going on with BTC. Near-term moves, I would say we've got more uptrend. That's what the near-term moves are. Now, looking at Ethereum. Oh, let's go back here. Looking at Ethereum. Ethereum is not as, in fact, Ethereum still has downward tendency, fairly significant downward tendency, believe it or not. So BTC over Ethereum right now. Let's go to, and I'm not explaining the details of the indicators. I'll do that at some other point, but not for the moment. Arrow is a red hot crypto these days. And it is, it's got a major drop coming up in the not very distant future. It's definitely going to retrace a fair amount. I mean, these are cryptos you can hold for a while because they're legit. Ethereum, Arrow are significantly legit. Kernel, is somewhat of it's a staking crypto. It's got upward potential now, based on the indicators. It has upward potential. I would say not dramatically so. It could continue to trend or go down a little while, but then it's going to retrace and go up. That's what the indicators are showing. XTC we won't bother with. Now Spark had a huge leap, and it's got an upward trend coming. It's already, you can see at the top indicator, it's already entered near the red zone, and it has an upward trend coming. On the momentum, it's already bottomed out. It has a significant upward move coming, I think, in the near term. So, hold on here. Now ZBCN, the one that every shyster on YouTube has been promoting. And I mean, I own all of these, so it's not that I hate any or love them. I'm just trading them for profit. So ZBCN has, gosh, it actually looks like it's just going to be trending sideways for a while. It does have an upward move coming, as shown by the top indicator, but the middle indicator, two indicators say it's just going to trend for a little while. It doesn't look to me as though we're going to get a massive move up or a massive move down. The next big move is likely to be up, though. It's going to trend for a little while, but then the next big move is likely to be up. Of course, all this is predicated on Bitcoin not getting utterly destroyed. DIA, let's see what that one is. That's another one that took a shellacking. DIA's got a big move coming up. Big up move coming up in the not very distant future. The momentum shows that, and it appears that it will continue down for a couple more days before it gets a rather abrupt upward move. So let's see. SUI, super solid. Looks like it's got a reversal coming. It is trending down for a period. Yeah, it is trending down. It's got some downward movement still to come. Not huge downward move, not super aggressive, but it is not in danger of a rapid rise anytime soon. You'd have to wait for that one. And let's go to ADA, or Cardano, which really showed surprising life. Okay, Cardano looks like it's about to get slammed back down to earth. That's what appears to be Cardano. It's going to get pulled down. I mean, it popped up on some very positive news, some reshuffling of the tech stack and some additional capabilities, but it doesn't look like that's going to hold. So let's check out Solana. Solana is one of my favorite projects. And it looks like Solana has downward trend for a period of time. So that's all that one is. It's not, basically what I'm saying is, if you want to invest, hold off a little bit on it, then buy in when it's a little bit lower. Solid project, legitimate reasons. XRP, and as I said, I hold positions on all of these, so I'm not talking my book. Oh, XRP looks like it's got a pretty good sized move up coming based on the momentum indicators. Momentum has more or less bottomed. The upper indicator looks like it could bounce off of the midline. Yeah, so I would say the tendency, I would say, is XRP is going to have an upward move in the not very distant future. And XCN we will ignore. And of course, for any of you who are in the precious metals space, it has been a glorious couple of years. Just so you know, GDX, inflation adjusted, not even including the current high in gold, which is what it's based on primarily, inflation adjusted, it should be double the price it is now. That's assuming gold was at 1,600, but gold is not. Gold is more than double that, 3,400 roughly, which would, 3,300, let's say that, which would put the price in an equivalent term to its peak in 2011, somewhere in the neighborhood of, hold on to your hats, $200. So there's massive upside to GDX. Now GDXJ back in 2011 was over 100. So again, equivalent inflation adjusted, it would be 200. But then factor in the increased price of gold, and silver is a little off, but mostly gold would drive it. I mean, I hate to even say it, but it would be $300-400. So those have massive upside, crypto type upside. But in any case, that is the massive update. Probably spoke more than I needed to, but that is what we've got for Coin Picker. And just so you know, I am going to be releasing an application that basically detects which coins are hot and trades into those coins out of USDC. So it'll, if it's got one hot coin and it wants to trade into another one, it backs into USDC, then goes from USDC into the next coin, and it does it all on one of the exchanges, DEX exchange, that is one of the biggest ones. So it has virtually every project you could imagine, even some very small ones. So if anyone is interested in that is going to be available where you just put your deposit in, and then that wallet automatically trades for you like a bot. But it does have some advantages over a bot, and I think it could be incredibly valuable. Don't put all your eggs in the basket, but put some in there and watch it have fun and potentially produce an outsized return. I certainly am enjoying it. So that is it for now. Thank you so much.